what were some of the things he was saying in terms of like why it's such a difficult industry? I mean, it's obvious there's a million out there, but it's like, but was it the money? Was it just just there's crazy competition? Like, why was he discouraging you guys so much?
So beverage is very low margin and low like dollar ring, but very high volume to be successful. So it takes years and years to get to high volume, and high volume is billions of units sold. Like Coca-Cola still sells a billion units of Coca-Cola every single day. And it's that type of volume that is required to have a legitimate, profitable organization. For us, I mean, we make barely 50 cents on every bottle we sell, so we'd have to sell a billion bottles to make $500 million to cover the rest of the costs of running the company, the office, the employees, the marketing. So today we're still not profitable, and we've raised over $180 million over the last 5 years to fuel that growth. So Seth was just basically warning us about all of that. He's like, it's tough to make money because Coke and Pepsi own the factories, they own the trucks, they have the network to scale. You guys don't. You have to build all that.
So something interesting is there's a great book out there called 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. Have you read that book?
Yeah, Jordan's a Peter Thiel fellow.
Okay, awesome. So something Peter Thiel talks about in the book is bullet coffee, about how bullet coffee created a new category within the coffee industry. And so you guys are kind of in that. Well, I mean, you're not in the same vein as bullet coffee. Bullet coffee is more about the fat loss component. You guys are more about healthy energy. Is that right? Is that kind of the category you're trying to dominate?
Right. That's right. Exactly.
Got it. And so another really high up guy you guys got on deck, I read, was Tyler Ricks, the former CMO of Pete's Coffee and CEO of Einstein. How'd you guys get connected to him? What were some of his big ahas for you guys?
Yeah, man, it's funny. All these questions and people that we work with have been very fortuitous, impromptu, spontaneous, like unpredictable. So we get invited to speak to college students every now and then, just because it's a relevant story to people like aspiring entrepreneurs in business school. And back in 2018, Jordan spoke at the University of Buffalo to a bunch of business school kids, and one of them, the story resonated so much with one of the students that they were like, "Hey, I met this guy Tyler Ricks. Sounds like he could be pretty helpful to you all. You guys should meet." And naturally, we got connected to Tyler, who's become one of our closest investors, advisors, mentors. He's probably been the single biggest impact on how we approach the beverage industry. And that all came from Jordan showing up and talking to some college kids.
Like on the marketing side, what are some of the, hacks to help accelerate growth? Like, are you doing influencer marketing, getting brand ambassadors on Instagram? Like what are some of those tactical things really helping drive sales?
Yeah. So when I think of hack, I think of like an unlock, right? Like a silver bullet, something that helps expedite scale. But really, a hack is more like taking a hatchet and like hacking the shit out of a tree, because we have not found a silver bullet yet. Like it's very still grassroots. We pour samples at grocery stores. We run ads on Facebook. We send product to influencers. We have a pretty strong email and SMS marketing campaign, but nothing out of the ordinary and nothing that moves the needle that dramatically by itself. It's this entire ecosystem, this full omni-channel ecosystem, right? People who buy our products online also buy it in stores. People who find our products in stores then go and buy it online.
Have you guys tested doing any kind of affiliate revenue model with influencers on Instagram?
Yeah, and so it works really well for some brands. I think typically apparel I've seen, and like protein powders, things that are higher basket size, higher order value.
Yeah.
And one thing too with influencers, it's funny, they all shy away from this. They're like, yeah, well, it's not like, he's like, the common answer I get from influencers is like, we're not here to drive sales. We're here to drive awareness. I'm like, so you're asking me to pay you these large monthly retainers with no return associated with them, rather than like eat what you kill, right? Like, yeah. Hey, you can make millions of dollars a year selling super coffee. Like, we'll pay you $20 for every case you sell. Have at it. And believe it or not, influencers don't get excited about that because they know that their content doesn't really convert rather than drive awareness.
I've been reading a lot about it. There's a lot of amazing case studies out there for product-based companies, like specifically supplement companies, that these companies have gone from $3 million a year in revenue to $100 million a year, just leveraging, influencers on Instagram. And as I've kind of gone down that rabbit hole, it actually sounds like the more efficient way to go is to get influencers that have smaller audiences with more loyal followers versus people that just, try to rack up hundreds of thousands of people. Have you guys split tested like different types of influencers, like ones that only have 10,000 to 20,000 followers versus, call it 500,000?